But anyway, PJ's back, hurting their feelings again. Again, if you don't know who PJ is, he's the one that runs Exotic Car Hacks. Like I said, one of the guys that I learned a lot from when it comes to buying exotic cars. But I'm going to talk about several things. The lottery, and I'm also talking about this whole migrant thing and how it's going to affect most people. Now, he's referring to an article where they said that a third of Americans earning $150,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck and are relying on credit cards. And he said, breaking, $150,000 a year is the new $35,000 a year. Most are living paycheck to paycheck if they're making below $500,000. They just won't admit it. $500,000 is the new six figures. Figure it out. And then he put in the caption, $500,000 a year is the new $100,000. This should be your absolute bare minimum income goal. Below that, you will not live comfortably. If you disagree, chances are you don't know what comfortable living actually feels like.
Business owners, you better make sure your bank is not on this list. 4 major banks have gone out of business in just...
I gotta kind of agree with him. It's a lot of money out here, but a lot of the money is about to get messed up due to how they are letting these, they're calling them migrants coming to the country. I know you all saw the videos, people running across the border, and they're shipping these buses all into Chicago and into New York of people that are immigrating or trying to immigrate into the United States. So here is why they are letting this happen. Number one, it's a new tax base. Number two, these people are going to pick up the jobs that Americans do not want. So you see these people that are trying to sue, or not trying to sue, that are trying to ask, for example, Waffle House. We want to get paid $20, $25 an hour, right? Instead of them upgrading their skills or getting certified to do something else or going into a different field versus working at Waffle House, they're demanding that Waffle House, okay, pay them $20 an hour. But what's going to happen is these migrants, they're going to come over there and they're going to take what's given, right? Because their cultures are virtually different than ours. Now, the people that are going to be affected are white people and black people. So it has nothing to do with race. The people that don't know how to think forward are going to be the most affected. So you're going to have all of these migrants that are going to be flooding the United States. They're going to be taking these low-paying jobs because their strategy to move to the next level is different. And these same migrants are going to be multi or at least millionaires in the next 4 to 5 years because this is what they do. And I just was at this spot and I was talking to somebody. I'll talk about that in a second though. But they'll come into the United States. They'll live like 4 or 5 people in a 1-bedroom, or they'll get a house and have like 20 people living in it. And I didn't really learn about this until I had a rental property and my neighbor called me. And he was like, man, I'm sick of your tenants. They was out here having a group fight. He said, it's like 20 of them that live in your house. And I didn't even know. They were living in the basement, well, throughout the whole house. This was years ago. But what they do is they all come together, okay, and they contribute money to the household, and they're saving their money so that they can all move to the next level, right? So in American culture, you know, if you're grown and you live with, you know, your parents, or if you live with a group of people in the house, they'll call you a scrub, they'll call you broke, they'll call you, you know, you're not a regular citizen of society. People will look down on you. But these people that come from these other countries, that's their come up. You know, in my neighborhood on the corner house, there's 3 families that live in there, 3 husbands, 3 wives, and like 6 or 7 kids, right? But what they're doing is they're contributing to the bills and saving their money. And then what each of them does is they all start their own individual business based off of the skills that they have brought over from another country. So when you see people come from, let's just say South America, they come over here and they know how to build homes. They know how to do certain carpentry work. They know how to put up drywall. They have certain skills. They may not be licensed or, certified, but they know how to do a lot of this stuff. And then what they do is they come over here, they get an EIN, they start an LLC, and then they, start taking the steps, to get acquire the licenses and the certification and these skills. And there are groups here that assist them, that put the money up, that pay for them to get these skills and get licensed and move to the next level. That's how they become, or part of how they come here, and they become multimillionaires. So what's going to happen is you, the average person that doesn't want to start their own business, or that doesn't want to do what they need to do skill-wise and earn these skills and move to the next level, they are going to take the majority of these low-paying jobs, whether it's at fast food, whether if artificial intelligence or robotics hasn't began to take over it, they're going to pick up those jobs like Waffle House, like CVS, like, Subway, like these things, like these lower end jobs. And if you notice, they come over here and within 4 to 5 years, they're almost, or they are millionaires. Okay. While Americans have been here from day one, right? And can't even get to that status because they don't understand these basic economics. But what Americans are doing is they're wasting their money and time on things like the lottery. As we keep seeing, we keep having these billion-dollar jackpots, and all it's doing is just sucking up money. You have a higher chance of getting struck by lightning twice than you do of actually winning the lottery. If you notice, in poor neighborhoods where they have liquor stores, you will also see lottery. You don't see that stuff in this area. There's a liquor store, and this liquor store doesn't even sell regular alcohol. It sells high-end wine, and they don't have lottery in it. Right? So you see that in poor neighborhoods. That's poor white neighborhoods and poor black neighborhoods. I have ATM machines in poor black neighborhoods and in poor white neighborhoods, right? They both make the same amount of money. They're around lottery. They're around cheap alcohol and beer and stuff. It's the same economics. And so it has nothing to do with race. It's all about the level of class. Now, this whole lottery thing, if you play the lottery consistently, you're wasting your time. All right. It's a rigged game. It's a numbers game, and you can play that same numbers game by learning a skill, do something else. I don't give a shit. It could be options trading. You have a way better chance of making money off that than you do off from the lottery. And people, lottery is almost like an addiction, and it's sad to see people waste their life and their money that they could have contributed to an asset class or a business, wasting it on playing the fucking lottery. Okay, you lost. Go back to work. That's my motto. And I used to see, when I used to post that, people would get upset, like, in their feelings about it. But, back to what PJ was saying, yes, low six figures, $150,000, $200,000 a year, it's starting to get tough out there, right? To me, I think it's decent money, but, the direction that the economy is going, property taxes are increasing because the values are increasing. Rent is going to still go up. The price of homes is still going to go up, right? And it's going to be more and more difficult for people to move around, how they want to, right? So with the housing market, right? Let's talk about this. There are a lot of people paying cash for homes right now in all ranges of the housing market. It's not just the $1 million range. I'm talking about 200,000 all the way up to several $1 million. But guess who it is that's paying cash for these homes? Immigrants, people that are not from America. They are buying these homes up. Not just these Chinese hedge funds, but people that came across this border from zero and built their lives up. They are out here throwing down this cash on these homes because of how they come together. We're going to live in this house for 2-3 years together. We all want to contribute, save our money, and then start our own businesses and go our separate ways. So they have saved the cash to be able to make moves like this. Okay, this is a fact, and this is known. If you know people that are that are not from America, they'll tell you these things. This is facts. So these hedge funds are coming here and they're building rental communities. So like in the DC, Maryland area, they're building acres of townhomes that you can't buy. They're rental only, because what's going to happen is the average American is going to get pushed away from being able to purchase a home. If you're not at least, I would say in the next 2 to 3 years, if you don't make at least over $200,000 with modest debt, you're not going to be able to purchase a home, period. Because the housing prices are going to keep accelerating, because you have people coming in here paying cash. They'll go over $15,000, $20,000 over the list price because they're paying cash. They're not worried about interest rates because they're paying cash. Okay, so these things are going to start accelerating the housing market once again next year, and it's going to keep the majority of Americans out. That's why these hedge funds are building rental communities. Okay, the last thing people should be worried about is the fucking lottery, and what you need to be worried about is acquiring skills and starting businesses, because these are the things that will save your ass. The only things. Thinking that you're about to get a raise where you currently are, being who you currently are, is a fairy tale, and it is not going to happen. All right. Yes, it is fucked up out here, but there's something you can do about it, and you can still live a great life by getting out here, starting a business on the internet, acquiring skills that makes you more valuable to these different countries. Hell, do what I did. Where you currently work, go to your human resource office and figure out how you can get them to pay for you to go to college. How you can get them to pay for certain skill sets that you can, get licensed to and have them pay for it. Every organization or corporation has this stuff. I did it. They paid for my last year. They paid for my last year in college. Because I had no idea that the company I was working for they'll pay for you to go to college, right? But I didn't know. So since I didn't know and I was already through college on my last year, they paid for the last year. So these are things that you can take advantage of to, they're using you, use them back, right? Like they're probably paying you a non-livable wage. So go ahead and have them pay for your college. So that way you don't have student loan debt or you're not paying out of your pocket, to move yourself to the next level. Have them pay for you to go to the next level. Have them pay for it and then quit and go get a better job somewhere else, right? But this is coming. That's why these people are coming across the border like this, and they want them to, because it's cheaper labor and it's another tax and voting base. You, as a regular American, do not matter anymore, okay? What matters is the people that are getting money. You complain.
Let's do better. Okay, so I hope this young man don't mind me using his video. He has dropped a lot of gems tonight, and I will say this. People, we got to pool our resources. We have to figure out how we can definitely start a business, how we can join together with our family members and see if we can put ourselves in a position to compete. Right? He said a lot today. 500,000 is the bare minimum at this point. Don't get me wrong. You could probably live off of 150,000 depending on how your debt is set up or how are you a steward over your money. But we have to pool our resources. Other communities are doing it. We have a hard time coming together and saying, okay, you know what? Let's sacrifice now for the good of the future. Like you said, they're going to turn us into renters. I see it. I see it all around me. I'm in the Atlanta area, and they are buying up all these land and building all these apartment buildings and townhomes. And the goal is to turn us into renters. The American dream will be deferred further and further away from us. So learn a skill. Learn, like you said, option trade. Pay attention. Stay tuned to this platform. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you different tools or different people that I follow that teach option, teach how to trade the market, or just how to invest altogether, because we have to be able to compete and leave something for our kids. We always say generational wealth. Generational wealth it's a fairy tale if we can't really start the first generation, right? But this guy is really on it. He said a lot. We have to find a way to build our own businesses. We have to find a way to improve our work ethic. Just overall, let's do better.